Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one, so Showdown has seen some changes now, and I thought I would kind of cover some of those changes, uh, what I've noticed early on, and then also show you what I'm going to do to start tackling this, because there's a lot of tasks, right? And it looks like it's only a 24-hour showdown. 200 red gems, 200 blue gems. It seems like it's designed to not, 200 gems of every color, and then damage with every class. Um, so you're going to need to kind of diversify and stuff and look to match classes with gems that you're behind on and that sort of thing, right? So that's kind of one. There's one character I have in mind in particular that'll do super well, I think, on the gems, and we'll kind of start there once we go into Showdown. Now, of course, if you don't know, um, so the new Champions official Discord server, the announcement was the King of the Ring Showdown is live. Um, Basically, league-based brackets mean you'll face off against players at your level, and every bracket crowns a winner. That's kind of interesting to me. So I went in here and you can see we are actually an hour in and I'm in 12th place without playing. You can see in my bracket so far, the top is Javier 1 here at 4K. And then it goes down from there because people just haven't played yet. So that's my bracket. If you notice here, the top person in the bracket gets 4 million points and 40 loot pulls. That's kind of cool. Second place is 21 loot pulls with the 3.8 million points. Third place in my bracket's 14 loot pulls with 3.6 million. And then we have 3.4 with 7 loot pulls. Then we go right down to 3.2 million, etc. Right? Basically, the top a decent amount looks like get, a meaningful amount of points. This is an interesting change. I like this change. And to show you that it's different, like if you look at the top 100 global, you can see there's a bunch of people already at the top, higher than anyone in my bracket, right? So depending what bracket you end up in, you're going to have you're going against your bracket. I don't know if there's a reward for global or if it's just bragging rights. It doesn't really look like there's one. Yeah, doesn't look like there's one. So, and your rewards are going to vary depending on your league, right? So, my alt potentially, my free-to-play potentially could get up to 1.28 million points, but no loot coins. So the top league gets the best stuff, obviously. But the bracketed showdown is really interesting. I'll take a look at this on my free-to-play too and show you guys more. So that's really cool. Or I think that's really cool. So, yeah. Let's kind of, I guess, dive in here. And for my gem task, what I'm thinking, both gem and damage for powerhouse, I think there's one person in particular that's particularly suited to get a bunch of gems. And if you have him, that's going to be Powerhouse Hogan. This is just my initial thought. Of course, anyone blowing up the board without changing colors would get a lot of gems too. But Powerhouse Hogan makes a crap ton of wild cards, which as they connect, break a bunch of gems. So I'm pretty sure we can go in here with Hogan and just kind of do our thing and break a bunch of gems. And normally I go for more damage and less wild cards, but I think with this one, I'll make sure my gear MP is right, because okay, 4 MP, 4 and 4, so 8, unless they have MP down, so that's good there. I think I want to go with the gem generate here as well. To be honest, we don't need, Big John Stud gives us a cushion just in case there's 1 MP down. You can use IRS, he gives you more. Of course, I have a moment that adds a bunch more wildcard gems and that kind of thing. So I think we'll probably just go right here and roll like this. So we're making a bunch of wild cards. Let's do one match and see how many gems we tick with him, right? Secondary spot, I don't particularly care. I don't think there's no CSS that I can tell for like extra bonus points. So we're just going to do notoriety at probably through this whole thing since it's bracketed to see where we can end up. And since he's Legend Era, do I even care about the link? No, I don't. So I'm just going to go with Dick Kick Cena. In case something goes wrong, we have the hot tag bringing Cena in just to be safe, right? Just to be safe. So we'll just go that route. I don't think I need the damage. But let's see in one match how many wild cards we get out of this. We also are trying to do damage, so I want a gold. And I do not have, I don't put plates on my Hogan. I probably should put a metal for this, though. Who's got a universal? Let's steal this. All right, let's see what happens. I'm curious how this works. I've never tried breaking a bunch of gems for a showdown task with Hogan that it's tracked. Just use him for like boss battle this kind of way. So let's see. I mean, this might be too many wild cards as well. 24 probably is a good amount. Maybe it's too many. So obviously we did a bunch of damage, so that's cool. We can get a little volume, I think. All right, so let's see how we did for gems that one match. 10, 4, 7, 1, 4, 4. So that would be the equivalent of what, 17, 21, 25. Not that great. Honestly, I thought he'd be better. We got 8, 9, 16, 20, only 30 gems. So that didn't work the way I thought it would, to be honest. So I guess lesson learned there. We don't really, we're just going to look for people that blow up the board or do a specific color, I guess. Because yeah, that didn't get a whole heck of a lot accomplished there, did it? With the gem chucker on top of it, I think we'll go. We did get most of our powerhouse done there. So, I mean, we could focus on a particular color or someone that blows up the board. I think I'll just use like, I think I'll go ahead and use Austin. He'll get a good chunk of the red out of the way because I have a red Royal Rumble on him, right? Powerhouse Austin, so I think I'll use him next. And I really thought Hogan would be better than that, to be honest. I thought the wild cards would count for all of the things he was hitting. Apparently not. So that was kind of disappointing. So like next, I think I'll just go for specific color sort of thing. Here we go. And it looks like 2 matches per class, so the 12 will get me the class damage done as long as I win, right? And I don't know if there's more energy available anywhere. I haven't really looked, to be honest. So we'll just go this route for red. 4, 4, 4. Okay. Nice cascade. We like that. All right. So that should finish Powerhouse. So in my head now, I'm thinking who does a bunch of gems for each class to try and maximize that I have. The other thing you can do is you can use somebody that doesn't do a lot of damage, right? So somebody that can say stun lock and break a bunch of gems, right? So like, yeah, you could use like Boss Man, Rick Steiner Powerhouse will get your greens done in 1, for example. So then you start thinking of kind of along those lines, like who can I play a very long time with without winning and break a bunch of gems. So I think, you know, that's the route I will go now. Most of the stun locks I can think of are strikers, though, or like Mellow, who doesn't break a lot of gems. So yeah, anyway, like I would look like Rick Steiner, Boss Man for some of your color gems and that sort of thing. Honestly, what I think I will probably do is go ahead and get my damage out of the way with people that do a lot of a specific color and get all my damage tasks done. And then as the energy comes back, because it's every hour, so we're going to get, you know, what, 20, almost, I'll get like 23 energy. So I should be able to do my gem tasks with that. And then just use like some stun lock people that blow up the board, like Powerhouse Braun, Strowman, or like probably Rick Steiner is who I'll use because he doesn't win very fast. Maybe for tech, I'll use like Tech Steiner stuns and does purple, yeah? I mean, so we can get him. Let's check that out real quick, just for example. Yeah. Yeah, he does indeed. So I will use Tech Steiner, win one match. That'll get all my purples and then some. And then do like half of my tech damage, and then I'll switch to a different tech. And I'll kind of go through that and look for people that can do that type of thing, like Stunlock and win. Steiner can do greens easily, and a bunch of others, Rick Steiner. So that's the route I think I'm going to go with this. I was hoping Hogan would just kind of be nice little cheat code and would count for all the gems he connected. It just really didn't seem to work the way I wanted it to. But the interesting stuff with Showdown, this Showdown in particular, right, is the bracketed leaderboards that you might not know about. So I thought I'd make the video and kind of talk about my first thoughts and that initial thoughts and that kind of thing. Not sure how far you can get when I'm done with the scoring. Maybe I'll update that. Chelsea Green is at the end of the gear is at the end of the bonus milestones. I don't think it's really a big deal for her, but gear is gear and it's MP gear, so it's always nice to have for like steel cage and that kind of stuff. So I would love to get there. And there's a bunch of medallions along the way in the bonus milestones, bonus solo contest points and that kind of stuff, tier 6 medals. So I'm a fan of all that stuff. Showdown looks way more interesting though, for example. Way more interesting. Not gonna lie, with these bracketed leaderboards. So let me know what you think. What's your bracket looking like? So far my bracket doesn't look too crazy, so I'm hyped about that. I didn't see any names I recognize, so maybe I'll make a play for first place in my leaderboard in my bracket. I don't know. I'll keep, if you guys want to, I'll keep you updated towards the end if that's something you're interested in, if I do decide to try and leaderboard it. If I had to spend anything, what I've spent, if I decided not to spend, all that stuff. Let me know. I'm curious what you think. And what's your leaderboard looking like? So, yep, thanks for watching, guys, and good luck out there. And remember to like, subscribe, and share, because it does actually really help me out, truthfully. And then leave a comment as well, because I'm always curious what you guys are thinking.